Welcome to another warm-up show on the Friday, October 28th, 2022. This is your co-host directly for the beautiful country of Thailand. And we have to go all the way to find our co-host from Toronto, Ontario. Mr. ENORTAP is back in the house tonight.
Happy Friday, Coach, and happy Friday, Hockey Nation.
Welcome, Mr. ENORTAP. How you doing? Great. You have an amazing, great week so far.
Yeah, not too bad. I'm glad it's Friday, but get to relax a little bit on the weekend and watch some more hockey, I guess.
Yeah, we have a lot of game tomorrow. Start at 2 o'clock afternoon. Toronto play after. Was surprised Toronto play at 7 p.m. tomorrow and not at 10 o'clock. They play again the Los Angeles Kings. We're going to talk about this. We have a lot of subject. It's a funny Friday, Mr. ENORTAP. So what do you have in the menu, Coach? We don't go yet at the saloon. We don't go nowhere at the beach yet. We prepare. We have to wait a couple of bit later, but we are coming there. But I'm going to talk about different thing I have for you on the menu, Coach, for you, Mr. ENORTAP. It's not on the hot seat. It's not the hot seat. Okay, I'm not getting there. But a couple of news would be interesting. I get for you my by number because you know how I love the analytics. You're going to surprise a couple of things like that. We have a power ranking. We can talk a little bit live. We're going to do this together. Just the top 5 we got, and then of course we're going to talk about some other things we have. But first of all, Mr. ENORTAP, we have to start with that way over there because he did it again. And surprisingly, I'm really lucky because I have a really bad weeks on picks. I'll be honest with you. I'm really not proud of myself. I don't know what's going on, but I'm always put one foot in the jail. So I'm always feeling, oh, I'm going to jail. Kelly saved me 2 days ago because she got 0-3. So I said, oh, that's pretty good. That's okay. I don't have to go there. Yesterday, I said, oh my God, I'm going to get there again. And then suddenly some people was worse at me. So I don't have a bad weeks, but I did not go there yet whatsoever. I don't go nowhere. I don't go to bus. I don't go to jail. So far, I'm okay.
That's okay.
I'm in Thailand anyway, so it's not the big deal.
You're consistent.
I can, I'll be here and deal it, but I need to perform a little bit better. But I want to recognize Mr. ENORTAP today. One of the best performance of him, I believe, but he have an amazing, great weeks, and we have to celebrate him because he did a great job. I'm talking Mr. DANY T. He did a great yesterday, Mr. ENORTAP. 8-2. He's going to be again alone in the bus. This is the second time he go to bus alone. I don't know what's going on, but we have to recognize him because he did it twice this week. So let's put him right away in the bus, Mr. ENORTAP. Well, I don't know what the feeling when your brother drive the bus and you celebrate in the back, but he's going to be there for 2 days. Imagine what's happening there. So we have to fill up more tuna, more shrimp, more seafood, and it's going to be interesting about this. I don't know if he's going to gain weight or lose weight because, he can use the post. We mentioned this a couple of days ago, but would be interesting, Mr. ENORTAP, to see him. Any comments when talking about this party bus with DANY?
I got to know what DANY does on that bus by himself. He must be getting some good advice somewhere. I don't know. He's been doing he's had a couple of very good weeks. So
yeah, absolutely about this one over there. So be interesting. I think you have the first failure of the Octopussy for the Yamo, honestly, happening last night. So I don't know he's going to change his
meltdown.
I don't know what happened over there, but it's rare. The GOAT of the prediction make a bad night, and he did yesterday. We're going to talk a little bit more about this, Mr. ENORTAP, but let's open up the door to people show up. And tonight, we're first of all talking about him. Why not talking about Mr. Jarmo Virtanen? Welcome back, Mr. Jarmo.
Moi, Jarmo.
The driver, the man with wearing the lot of hat for the Hockey National Show, Mr. Roger L. is in the house.
Hey, Roger, bro.
He felt we knew he was going to talk. We're going to talk about him. He showed up early tonight, Mr. ENORTAP. DANY T, welcome back. The moderator of the Hockey National Show, captain.
Hey, coach.
Yep.
I have to say, I read an article a couple of days ago that apparently eating shrimp improves your cerebral comprehension. So maybe that's the trick for Danny.
You're absolutely right about this. He have a study talk about this because he said if you eat more seafood, you get a little bit smarter. So I realized I start too late when I start to eat seafood in my life, and I'm not at that same kind of level, Mr. Nata. But you're absolutely right. There's a great study case about this. I think that's what happening to him. That's the reason he go to Mediterranean, or he pick up all the Mediterranean behind the door and the back door for get all the shrimp, the rest left over the night from the buffet. Bring this at home, Mr. Nata.
Why not?
Miss Kelly in the house.
Hey, Kelly, welcome.
Miss Kelly finally get out of the zone, get out the jail after 3 days. She said, I don't want to pass the weekend over there, so she figured out something else. About it. Mr. Jose Duarte, after a great weeks last week, did okay this week. Not a bad weeks, but not like a great weeks. Mr. Jose Duarte is with us. Mr. Natap.
Welcome, Jose.
Pretty good overall, Mr. Richard Mullen. His pick this week, honestly, was more consistency show up during the week. Glad to see you, Mr.
Hey,
Richard.
Richard.
And he is now on not a vacation. He's on the time, couple of time home for a couple of weeks before he go back on the road, Mr. ENORTAP. So that's great to see them to get that way over there. We'll see if we have other people. And Mr. Stu Pedazzo.
Hey, Stu.
Welcome back, Mr. Stu. Boston Bruins doing well. Boston Bruins doing well. Cannot complaining about what they are doing over there for sure. Here we go. Mr. Luciano GRAZIANO, welcome back in the house.
Hey, Lucky Luch. Welcome.
A little bit better to me, but not a great week for Luciano overall. I think he been to the jail one time this week, but he finally get out, and then he said, I'm not going there for the weekend. Of course, another one, so great to hear that. And then we'll see the guess a game start now. Yeah, that will give a better chance to me to get a W. I will wait until the 7 o'clock to give you my prediction, see what they look like.
No.
Mr. Dawson, Sport Corner is in the house tonight, Mr. ENORTAP.
Dawson, welcome.
Hopefully doing well, Mr. ENORTAP. A question for you, Coach Frenchy. Are you doing a game today? That's a great question, Dawson. I think about this for over and over. Do I do it? Do I don't do it? Don't do it? Do it? I did not know until I realized, you know what? I'm going to skip tonight, Mr. ENORTAP. You're welcome to join me. 9 o'clock tonight, we're going to do the HNL Tonight Show. Why? Because Sunday night, I'm going to do the game at Toronto. I don't do a lot of Toronto because it's just happening this way. And Toronto play again Anaheim, I believe, Sunday night, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, Mr. ENORTAP. So I'm going to do that game Sunday night. So we try to create one show per week about the HNL Tonight Show. And that will be the direction. So great question. The question come at the right time, Mr. Dawson. So glad to see you. I could do the game Boston, Columbus, honestly. But if not, I'm not going to do much after that. So I'm doing the Avalanche game versus the New Jersey Devils. Yeah, that'd be great. We did have a pretty good night. Mr. Rick Bangol did very good yesterday, Mr. ENORTAP.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. After a rough night.
Way to go, Rick.
Halloween in the jail, OMG, Yamo. It's not a good news for you, Mr. Yamo, about this one over there. But the good news, you will be out for the Halloween, so it'll be good to see that. Sean McIntyre, welcome aboard.
Welcome, Sean.
Guys, do you think the Habs? Do you think they'll be better? We thought it hurt the rebuild by finishing up at the top 10. Mr. ENORTAP.
You know what? I still believe strongly that they'll finish towards the bottom 5 to 8, somewhere in that range. I think, like we talked about this many times, I think they're more competitive for sure, but I still think they have a lot of holes. And I don't. This is such a good draft year, and I know you always want to create a positive climate and everything. But by the same token, you want to be careful not to over exert yourself in that regard. And you know what I mean by that. Like, if right now, if you look at our goaltending situation, they've been playing very, very well. If we're four, what are we, 4-4 now, or four to
Yep.
three? Yeah, 4-4. I would say Allen and Montalban are probably responsible for at least two of those wins, where we could have been 2-6. So I wouldn't be surprised at some point if, maybe Caden Primo comes up for a game or two, but not right now. I'm talking about well after the trade deadline time. Like, they're going to see what position they're in, and sort of not do it on purpose, but they'll do it organically.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I still believe they will finish below the bottom five. They're not going nowhere. The reason why, I'll be honest with you, first, the goaltender, they are play over their head right now. It's always
Yeah,
going to be balanced. And everybody was excited about Buffalo yesterday. Before that, right now, the Buffalo lost the 2 game. If you follow the game yesterday, Buffalo is not a great team. And you say, "Oh, come on, you look about what they have, they are excited. They have a couple of great players, but at some point they're going to the time. Just the normal NHL going to reach up. Comrie have two
yeah,
excellent game before yesterday, and then Anderson played 2 good games. So the goaltender Buffalo carry on the team for a couple of W. Same thing with the Flyers. Carter Hart play over his head right now, and it's balanced at some point. So for me, to be honest with you, I don't think so. Montreal will be finished over 28 in NHL. I would be shocked. And because what happening, they did not play again like the Florida Panthers, the Colorado Avalanche, the Boston Bruins, the Tampa Bay Lightnings. That one they not great Carolina Rangers. You know what I mean? So Pittsburgh one time, Toronto one time, but at the point where you're going to balance, and they will be just not back normal. So yeah, it's fun to watch, but
mm,
the cloud will be back normal a little bit later during the season, and then you're going to see. And it's a team that's not win on the road. That's not a big problem. Whatever they win
yeah,
yesterday against
yeah,
Buffalo, but
yeah,
it's
for
fun.
sure.
They beat the normal beat. If they can beat Detroit, Buffalo, the bottom of the bottom, Anaheim, San Jose, and Arizona, Chicago, that will give them a bit possibility, maybe finish 7, but I don't think so.
Yeah. Well, it's going to depend, I guess, on what perspective some other teams take. And by that, I'm thinking even a team like Vancouver, if all of a sudden, okay, yesterday they won, that's fantastic. But I think they have 2 or 3 big games coming up in the next week, and they're not easy games. And if all of a sudden they find themselves in a deep hole, who knows how they might think this out? They might say, let's, for 1 year, try to clear up some contracts and keep our good players, pick up a good prospect, so they could drop. But you still got teams like Chicago, San Jose, Anaheim, that are probably going to finish maybe below Montreal or around the same.
Yep.
So yeah, you're right. You're right. Somewhere around fifth from the bottom, I would say.
Yep, so right about this. Adam Berger is in the house. Welcome aboard.
Hey, Adam.
The player always love to play Adam at game afternoon for sure.
Which,
Not this one, but not this one, but this one. Finally, I get it. Joseph Laham is in the house.
hey, Joseph. Just a reminder, if everybody can get in their picks ASAP, we do have an early game, so I haven't been to the email in the last half hour or so. So please do so. And we never disappoint on Hockey Nation. On Monday, not only are we going to give you the updated results, but we're also going to have 2 new categories, and that's the number, the most stays in jail and the most party visits on the bus. So
Awesome. Glad
look
to hear
forward to
that,
that.
Mr. Natal. That'd be great to see this. So who go to the boat direction, and so I'm not going to be at the leaderboard on the both of them, honestly. But we have a question for Renault. Coach, which midget AAA did you coach? I was born in and then la Mauricie Renault. So Cap de la Madeleine, it was the team I was around over there. You guys awesome. Rick, you're welcome. Okay, some good coach. You're welcome, Dawson. Enjoy. Denis Rodrigue is in the house. Thanks so much. Charlie Coy is a very good hockey player. Pierre Machin, they said this. I'll try to get if we have other people in the house. Marco Larabie is in the house. Welcome aboard.
Hey, Marco. Welcome.
Alan Barnes is in the house tonight. Thanks so much, Alan Barnes, to be with the Hockey National Show.
Hey,
surprisingly, with the prize for Eden Bear. We'll go to hold on with this one because we have a lot of subjects coming very soon, so I want to keep it that one. We're going to talk about that one. John Gregor, welcome in the house.
Hey, John, welcome.
Can they have a category for the most exact score?
We do have it. Yeah, that'll be there too.
Here we go. Let's answer that, Mr. ENORTAP. Let's move on here, Mr. ENORTAP. We'll go to fire up. We have 5:20, and then we're going to figure out what's happening about all the subject we have to you, Mr. ENORTAP. So let's starting with about this one over there. I'll just remove the best record about this one. It was not this one. Here we go, Mr. ENORTAP. We're going to talk about fun NHL use. Are you ready?
Sure.
All right. The NHL suspend Michael Rasmussen for 2 games. Are you shocked about this, sir? Did you see the hit?
No, I have to admit I didn't see it, so I can't really comment on the severity of the suspension based on the fact that I haven't seen it. So you might have to fill us in on that one, Coach.
Really, really surprisingly, it's not about it. It's not at the back. It's not like at the end he turned around and he hit his stick over the head. He hit the head of Krachik, but the intimidation was not there. It was not trying to revenge something. I'm shocked to see that. I can understand they tried to maybe at the extremist give him 1 game, but to give him 2 games, I can wait the next move. Like that way they did yesterday. Matthews last year got 20 games. Just give you an idea the difference between Matthews cross-checking he did yesterday against Daden versus the hit yesterday Rasmussen against David Krejcik. Like it's nothing was dangerous yesterday. Like nothing, no slide. It was a normal hit. Whatever. The possibility you want to exaggerate, I would say that, but to put him 2 games, it's really shocking me about that. So
for sure. Does Rasmussen have any history?
No.
Of suspensions?
No.
So that's even more surprising.
That's another way over there. So we welcome Mr. Hugo Davidson. Bienvenue dans la maison de Hockey National Show. Merci d'être avec nous.
Welcome, Hugo.
Ben, je te souhaite bonne chance, mon Hugo. Tu as gagné ton ticket about Norway should have been a special. Yeah, I agree with you about this. I'm shocked to see this. Going to watch the Laval Rocket tonight. The Laval Rocket play tonight. Awesome. Rick, glad to see and enjoy the night. Mr. ENORTAP.
Let us know, Rick. Let us know.
He was suspended. He was LT scratch last week, but tonight he played, and I'm talking about Josh Bailey. Play his 1,000 game in NHL at 33 years old, 32, 33. So congratulations for Josh Bailey. Been $5.5 million in another contract the Islanders tried to trade for the last 12 months. Marco talked about him, and it was funny, Mr. ENORTAP, because before I did the show, it was all my notes is before, so 24 hours ago. I watched a lot about Eden Bear conversation all weeks and left and right, and I was asking you tonight, what would be the future of Eden Bear? Are you okay around for how they treat Eden Bear, the Carolina Hurricane? Did not let him play a lot. They have 0 games so far. Did not play any game last season on the playoff. And they don't want to waive him because to returning American Hockey League, he is begging everybody in Carolina to play. If you want to send me to East Coast Hockey League, I want to play. I just want to play hockey. And finally, they have the outcome happening when Marco sent me a text this morning. and he said, "Look, they didn't pay a lot for the
No,
Adam Bear for he got a 5-round pick in return. They traded him with Peterson, another draft. It was now Peterson came with the trade for the San Jose Sharks with Brent Burns.
or
So my point to
right.
you, what do you think about that trade? And do you think it's too much or not enough? And what the reason they gave him only a 5th-round pick in return?
Was it a fifth or a fourth round? I wasn't sure.
Fifth round
The
pick.
fifth round, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, it's rare that you get somebody like Ethan Bear that has that desire to want to play at any level in any way, shape, or form. I, on the one hand, I do understand with Carolina how there might be a bit of a log jam there. They are very deep as a team, and especially defensively, they're very good as well. So it's hard. Like as long as you don't put high expectations on Ethan Bear, I mean, I think he makes a very good third pairing defenseman. Possibly in a tight situation, can help out on the second pairing. So I am surprised that he wasn't picked up earlier. I don't really know why that some kind of trade wasn't done earlier. So
But I have the answer, Mr.
I'm
Natap.
glad.
So glad you asked this question. Why he did not trade earlier? I will tell you because his salary is at $2.5 million per year.
And still, it's not ridiculous. Like it's not a. I know it's a bit high for third pair defenseman, but
It's
I'm more
because look
surprised
about
why.
what's happening with Toronto example. They have no money
Yeah,
for Ramis Sadin, right? If
that's
you
right.
go every team, you have no money
Gotcha.
for pay a player like third pairing or maybe a defenseman number 7. And that's happening now. The reason why the Vancouver did that, coach, because they put 2 defensemen on long-term
Injuries.
injury reserve now. So they have an
Yeah,
open spot over there. They have 3.
yeah,
So that's the reason
yeah.
Vancouver get that one over there. And then the Carolina got pressure with that with a lot of people around the NHL. I think that Wendell could not holding more at that. Now, when I said pressure, of course they can go to one direction, but they feel the pressure because now the people request like, hey, the kids want to play. He's 25 years old. That's the point behind that. So.
That's
What's
it. That's
interesting, I
it.
have a
Well,
couple of teams was running after him. What running? They was talking to Carolina, the Toronto Maple Leafs, the Washington Capitals, the Winnipeg Jets, and the Vancouver Canucks. Montreal never been in the conversation for that one
mhm.
for Edinburgh. The reason why, the salary cap.
The salary cap, yeah, no, and I think even to finalize the deal, I think they had to take some money back, right? They had to retain some salary, Carolina, if I'm
Yeah,
not
so
mistaken.
Marco is talking about this. So what happening with this
Oh,
is the
okay,
reason
yeah,
they add the Peterson and the trade.
right,
So
exactly. So that makes sense because Vancouver was a little bit tight under the cap as well.
yes,
So I could see that. I mean, it'll help. It'll help Vancouver to some degree. So that's good.
I would have to pick him up for his 5th round with a salary cap. The prime Marco is because the money Montreal Canadian guys is really, really important. But what you talk about is only October. Because that money Montreal is going to try to open up more, more, more. It's because at the trade deadline, Mr. Natal, they're going to make a trade and they're going to get money, a better pick because the salary cap they're going to retaining for
Yeah,
another trade or what
that's
happening.
right.
So that's the reason the Montreal does not want to put their salary cap close to 81 $82.5 million. So it's a strategy.
Absolutely right.
And at the end of the day, they believe like, hey, anyway, Bear at long term is not going to be a part of the long project we got. So that's another reason behind that door. That's the reason they don't trade a lot of for a
Yeah.
defenseman. They are really caution about that. At least the money is not an issue on that trade over there. So it's another subject. And I want to finish with this one, Mr. Natap. William talked about, remember the slashing in the face of Kuznetsov versus Burroughs a couple of weeks ago, last week,
Hmm.
right? And he got only one game.
And he only got one game. Yeah,
So that's the
that's a
problem
very
right
good
there. I
point,
just
William.
want to mention about this. So
That's a
Steve
good
G
point.
is in the house. Welcome aboard. Thanks to be part of the show tonight. And Zubat make another mistake at no getting back. So that's another thing about this. Let's move on now, Mr. Natap. For next one, Marchand
Money,
was back
money.
yesterday, Mr. Natap. 3 point, 1 goal,
Yes, he
2
was.
assists, and 30 seconds. What do you think about the return of Brett Marchand?
Yeah, that's all Boston needed was a little bit more firepower, right? Yeah, I mean the guy hasn't skipped a beat. Like Marchand is a specimen for sure. That like this guy. Usually there's some rust in their game, but there he is. He comes in and it quickly contributes and is part of the team. Now, recognizing that, they did say that they're going to try to manage his ice time a little bit. So whenever he's on back to backs, i.e., tonight, he will not play. So that's one thing to look at moving forward.
All right, guys, we're going to have this question for everybody in the chat. So here's what I'm talking about, Mr. Natap, is a Friday. So I ask you one question, Mr. Natap, here, and for everybody in the chat. The Mulligan NHL team, what are you talking about, coach? So a Mulligan, guys, if you play golf, at the beginning, all right, I use a lot of Mulligan, by the way. You would, O number one, O number two, O number three. Hey, he said, coach, you cannot cheat. I said, oh, I apologize. I did not remember having Mulligan at the old before that. But a Mulligan, guys, it's another chance you have. So, Mr. Notap, which team do you believe you put them out of the playoff for the upcoming season? And now you change your mind and you said, you know what? I'm going to put them in the playoff for the upcoming season. So this is called the Mulligan NHL team playoff, Mr. Natap. So this is my question to you. Which team do you believe they are not in the playoff race and now you put them now possibly in the playoff? Example, the Boston Bruins could be a one. The Dallas Star could be another one. The Vegas Golden Knight could be another one. I just mentioned a couple of
Yeah.
teams. So I would like to know from the guys in the chat and you, Mr. Natap, what do you think?
Yeah, I gotta admit, I did not give proper respect to Boston. I thought that missing the kind of players that they were going to be missing, and I thought for more extended periods of time that not necessarily they were going to be out of the playoffs. I didn't predict that. I just said that they would probably finish fourth in the Atlantic and would be battling for a wild card position. But you know what? They're part of the discussion now. They might be one of the top three teams in that Atlantic and could finish in that combination right there. Um, Other teams that I had counted out that possibly are in there. I mean, Washington's still out as they are right now, so that doesn't really count. Um, I mean, I always thought Vegas would be in the discussion of a playoff position. I think some people had sort of figured that they would finish on the outside. Anybody else? Winnipeg's in there right now, but I'm still a bit weary. They're the dark horse, as Marco puts it.
So and the team like Marco put Minnesota out of the playoff. Now they put back him in the playoff. Rick put now Boston in the playoff, and then Danny put now Vegas back in the playoff. Toronto is out for the playoff for Roger L. And then Kelly put Chicago, Mr. Natap, in the playoff for upcoming year. Steve G put
No.
Seattle Kraken in the playoff for upcoming years. Jose Duarte put the San Jose Sharks back in the playoff for the upcoming year. Renault
Ooh.
put the Kraken in the playoff. Alan Barnes put the Winnipeg Jet in the playoff. Renault put the Phillies, possibly, and my rate on Vegas turned out to be very round so far, too, for Marco. Renault put the Jet. Look, Renault have a lot of teams did not want to put in the playoff. About this, Kelly put Chicago. And I say, okay, I'm going to surprise everybody, guys. A team going to make the playoff. Remember, this one is October 28th. The New Jersey Devils, Mr. Nata.
I would still put the Islanders ahead of them.
Here
I'll
we
be
go.
honest with you.
The New Jersey Devils, they dominate on defense categories analytic. Where since
Yes.
2005, they are the top. Every team dominate after 7-8 game in NHL on the goals for, on the goal shooting, and all the stats I'm talking about. They all make the NHL playoff, Mr. Nata.
Yeah, I'm just a bit weary of the goaltending. I'll be honest with
That's
you.
the
Otherwise, you bring up a good point.
that's the only point they've been concerned about the subject I'm just talking to you. So one specific team, like they lost the last game again.
Yesterday, I think, or was it
2 days
2 days
ago,
ago?
they
2
lost
days ago.
a
Yeah.
team where they dominate the game, and unfortunately, then they win after that. So, but it was an example. I think they won on the road, Mr. ENORTAP, after that, and I
They
was expect them to
they
lose.
beat Detroit.
Yes,
They beat Detroit 6-2.
exactly. So the night before they got beat, and it was one reason why the goaltender was
Oh,
unbelievable. It was
I think
Charlie
it was
Legrand.
Washington.
Yes,
Washington.
yes. So I
Yeah.
just want to share with you about this. Coach I on the Thailand Steve G. Yeah, it's pretty good here, honestly. Sharakovic is good. Yeah, absolutely right about this. Luciano go with the Flowers. Dougie another play this season is pretty good so far. Renault about him. Flowers for Mr. Him.
Okay.
Vegas still 0-0, but close to score now. From Poland, welcome back, Mr. SGW Fishing is back in the house, Mr. Natap. I remember the
Welcome.
fishing about this. Kimson, big save on Mark Stone. And Mr. Natap, we're not done yet. And I know we hit 35. We
We're
go
not
to a
done.
wrap after that. What's going on with the Toronto Maple Leaf? I'll give you 1 minute. Last yesterday
Oh my
for 3.
goodness.
Last, again, another selection pick. I'm right now pissed off about the Toronto Maple Leaf. Yesterday, Mr. Natap, I take a nap sometime, right? I'm watching the game. I fall asleep a bit. I will work again, everything like that. And I thought, okay, San Jose, Toronto is going to win in overtime. It's going to be easy. And William Nylander, the Nylander, dropped the puck in
Bad
front of
pass.
Eric Carlson, is $11.5 million score and beat the Toronto Maple Leaf and Mr. Natap. What's going on with the Toronto Maple Leaf?
Well, I still think they have the same problems that they had before the season started. I don't think their defense is strong enough. They don't present a very physical dimension for the team. Number one, the goaltending. I mean, Samsonov has held his own,
Yep.
but Murray hasn't, and Shalgren. I mean, yesterday was okay, but the game before he didn't look very good. Uh, right now, I think the key has been that first line. The first line has not produced to expectations. And when you don't have your first line producing the way they should, and you can run down through the entire NHL, take everybody's first line, and if they're not going to be producing on a consistent basis like they should be, then you're in trouble. You're going to feel it in the standings. Now, having said that, they're not, I mean, it's still early. It's a small sample size. I mean, we did see finally Matthews score a real goal yesterday because the first one was just a little tip off the stick. It should have gone to Giordano. So maybe things will turn around. This is a tough road trip that they're on, and anytime you travel to California, it's not easy. So I don't know. I think that those two things alone are the biggest contributors.
All right, Mr. Natap, we're going to go by number. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Do you want to see the extremists and the power play, Mr. Natap?
Yes.
Colorado Avalanche, 50%. This is the first team after 7 game in NHL since 1989 have a team dominate on power play versus Columbus Blue Jacket have 0 goal on the power play so far, 0%.
Well, there's somebody worse than Montreal on the power play. Good.
So possibly, if you're a Montreal fan, you're thinking, is we are the worst? No, we are not the worst, Mr. Natap.
No.
We're looking great
But
versus Columbus Jacket.
We got to give Columbus a mulligan, right? Like Laney was out of the lineup, and now he's coming back in. So maybe that'll improve.
So you have Johnny Goodrow, and us we have Cole Caulfield, and look like we don't work about this. Next one, Mr. Natap. Carolina Hurricane, the top 2 line, have 0 goal against them since the beginning of the season. They score 5 goals versus 0 goal they gave both lines. I'm talking about Ao Terevenen and Zev Jarvis. I'm talking about Chef Nicole Kokenemi and I cannot remember the Nikash. Yeah. So both Carolina, Mr. Natap.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Carter Hart, Mr. Natap.
Yes, he's been great.
0.979 on the inner shot. So what is the inner shot? Is a high danger
The
scoring
hardest.
chance. It's not like
Yeah.
a save percentage is still at 0.947 is 500 but usually the best in NHL, the best of the best, is about 0.860. It's right
Right.
now
Yeah.
at 979. He gave only one goal from the inner shot slot, Mr. Nata.
Yeah. No, that doesn't surprise me, Coach, because A, he's a very good goalie, but B, it fits into Tortorella's system. He wants his players to block a lot of shots and also to get that rebound out of the way. And so that doesn't surprise me. That's fantastic, though.
And I'm Dax, Mr. Natap. Are you ready?
Go ahead.
How many players are plus so far since the beginning of the season after 8 games?
I'll go with 2.
2. But you're almost there. Only one. Terry plus 2. The rest of the team is minus 51.
Ooh,
That
hurts.
At that way, they're going to one of the worst top 5 minus about 193 at the end of the year, Mr. Natap.
Doesn't surprise me. Yeah.
Really, really interesting stuff we want to share in with you, Mr. Natap. And then I want to talk about the power ranking. We have no time, but I want to share the rules, Mr. Natap, tonight. And I want you to tell me your feeling about this.
Okay, go ahead.
The rules of the power play came with Montreal Canadiens in the 60s. When they got a penalty, the rule was a full 2 minutes. And you can score any goal you want to score for 2 minutes. Right now, they changed the rule. It was the rules of the Montreal Canadiens. They called it that way. So they changed it. We have a goal in power play. The player come back on the ice. We back 5 versus 5. Are you agree with me?
Yeah.
So now the rules I want to change this part, Mr. Natap. You play your 2 minutes and you don't bring back the players. Well, so you can score 2 goals, 3 goals, 4 goals, 5 goals, right?
I understand, yeah.
But I'm going to add one more thing, Mr. Natap. You know when you play Monopoly, you go to the jail. Like Kelly went to the jail. Like Kelly, she was in the middle of the Monopoly, Mr. Natap. You follow me?
Okay.
And then Danny was on the board. He was coming to at the corner of the Monopoly, and he got a free. He can release from the jail Kelly out. So far you follow me, Mr. Natap.
Follow you.
All right. So I took this from the Monopoly game when Danny played a lot of time, and I said, you know what? He should do the same thing in NHL. He stay in the game and the penalty box until we score goal. But if you score on the penalty game, on the penalty shot, on the penalty PK, you get the guy from the jail out of the penalty box. Now you bring back and we become 5 versus 5.
Okay.
So what do you think about my suggestion of the rules?
Well, the NHL is always looking to increase the offense in the league, so I think this is one way to do it.
I should maybe apply for that rules, Mr. Nata, because it's, like Colorado is good on power play. They can score 3 goals. It could make a big change at the end of the game. But if Marner score on the PK like he likes to do, but now you remove a possibility, I don't know, Kerfoot for the belly box, and now he come back, and that's a removed gel. So as long as this coming from the Monopoly game when I saw Kelly there, when Danny was doing this. So I just want to share my rules, Mr. Natap. That's conclude the show on this news and NHL. We're going to bring more news like that, Mr. Natap, every Friday. And hopefully the people enjoy it. So I think it'll be a good thing about this. Let's move on, Mr. Natap, where we're supposed to be. And I'm talking about the prediction of 6 games we have on the program tonight. But before that, Mr. Natap, we cannot get there. What are you talking about, Mr. Natap? Because we have a celebrate something happening in Natap. I'm talking about it's going to get. We have to go with the double bugs tonight, Mr. Natap. Some are going to be driven by Mr. Roger D. Roger L. And then we have to go with Mr. Natap with another driver. We tell him the second driver, Danny T. Go back with the purple, pink Bog, and we're talking about Mr. Nortap tonight. A couple of people. They are not on the
Uh-oh.
list, by the way, Mr. Nortap. I put Kelly, but Kelly is not there anymore. So we're going to mention who they are. Let's go, Mr.
Okay.
Nortap. You have to remind me. I believe we have
I don't have
Yamo
it.
and the gel,
Yes, we do.
right? I believe we
Yeah.
have Mac Bougie, if I can recall it. No.
I can't remember. I don't have my data here.
I can helping you about this one. There, if you give me 20 seconds, I completely forget to put the name of the
Um,
jet over there. But I'm going to get there, guys. Don't give me about 10 seconds. I'm getting there, Mr. Natap. It's coming very soon, and we're going to get that one over there. And we
I
have
think you listed it.
Mr. Natap. We have Marc Bougie, Randy Walkman, and Chicago
Yes.
Nick. All of four are
Yes.
3-7.
3-7. That's right. Yeah, you're right.
So they are the one go to jail. So that's happening, Mr. Natap. And tonight you have a little bit for up 15 minutes for 6 games. Not too bad. You can do that. We can get a little bit later anyway. We don't have any game
Good.
after that. So let's move on, Mr. Natap, with Boston and Columbus Blue Jacket.
Okay. Let's start with the Boston game for sure. The Bruins, they've been, as we said earlier, one of the best teams in the league during the early part of the season. And obviously, the return of Marchand last night only boosts that potential. However, this is a tough situational spot for the Bruins uh, after having played last night against Detroit, and now they're having to travel overnight to get to Columbus and take on the Blue Jackets. Columbus is going to be a little bit hungry for a win here, following that disappointing effort that they put up against the Coyotes a few nights ago, and they have the perfect opportunity here to sort of pull off an upset against the fatigued Boston club that will not be playing Marchand as well. It has been, a disappointing year, and I say that in quotes for the Blue Jackets. Like after they got Johnny Gaudreau to sign that massive contract, but you got to give them a bit of a mulligan because also, from day one, Patrick Laney got hurt, and that kind of stifled the offense a little bit and even changed the line combinations to some degree. The defense and goaltending have been particularly poor in my eyes. They surrendered over 4 goals per game through 8 games so far. But the offense has been solid and should be better now that Laney is back into the mix. The best news for the Blue Jackets is that this game is, against an aging Boston Bruin team, and they should benefit from some tired legs from last night. But I'm going to throw 2 things at you. Boston is 6-1 in their last 7 games, and Columbus is 5-10 in their last 15 games. Now, take that as you will, but I'm I'm going to go with the upset here, just because I think Boston had to really work hard yesterday for that. So I'm going to go with Columbus to win this one by a score of 3-2.
3-2. How about this one over there? Marchand is not there, and we have, honestly, we don't have. This one was really difficult for me, Mr. Natap. I still believe Boston, but I'm a little bit concerned about him. It's a back-to-back game for the old players, but Ulmark is
Yeah,
looking good. But I have to go with you. But I don't have the same score. I have the Blue Jacket at 4-2, Mr. Natap.
4-2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you as well there. Like I like Boston, but I just think it's they've got him in a bad situation here. Columbus does, so they might take advantage of that. Our second game, we have Vegas, which is currently underway. Anaheim and Vegas are 2 Western Conference teams that pretty much they share the same colors, but that's about where the similarities end. Vegas has given their fans some, great moments so far this year. They look like, as long as they can stay healthy and their goaltending obviously holds up, that they're going to be, one of the teams in the conversation of being in the playoffs and possibly even finishing in the top three of their division. We'll see how that sort of materializes. Anaheim, on the other hand, you saw the stats that Coach put up a little while ago. They haven't, uh, I don't think they're going to come anywhere near a playoff berth in any way, shape, or form. This is a team that right now, once you kind of take a nice player like Trevor Zegras out of the equation. I mean, Troy Terry was a nice story last year, and he's been okay this year, but it's not at the same level. They don't really have that much left. And Gibson is getting on with age, and I suspect if things keep going this way, that Gibson could be trade bait come the deadline time. We'll see what happens here. Vegas is right now 5-2-0, and they're surging in the Pacific Division. They're entering this game having won back-to-back contests, and now they get to head back to Vegas for this. It's just a couple of FYIs here as well. Anaheim is 0-5 in their last 5 games on the road. Vegas is 10-4 in their last 14 games at home. And Vegas is also 9-1 in their last 10 games when playing against Anaheim. So to me, that tells the whole story right there. I'm taking Vegas by a score of 5-1.
5-1, 4-2 for one for you, but 5-1, I get it. Then I got 5-2, Mr. Natap, so it was pretty good. Yes, Marco Mezar does not play tonight for the Kitchener Rangers.
Right.
So either you have two ways, injury or he missed team rules. It'll be interesting to hear more about him, what happening about this. William, I will get my pick. And tonight, go Avalanche. You're welcome. So
Right. Okay. Next, Colorado, New Jersey. The Avalanche and the Devils. They're are coming into this matchup with similar records. But that doesn't mean that they're a similar caliber of team, right? The Avs are just 4 months removed from hoisting that Stanley Cup that we saw last year, while New Jersey had the third worst record in the East last season. It's worth noting, though, that the Devils' struggles last season, as they, uh, didn't lead to anything happening this summer. And I'm talking particularly about the goaltending. And that was their biggest weakness then last year. And it's their biggest weakness, I think, so far this year. They've allowed the fourth most goals per game last year. And they're still, throwing in there guys like Mackenzie Blackwood onto the ice and hoping that, this is a game where he plays to the expectations that they thought he would be playing at. But it doesn't happen anywhere near with the consistency that it needs to be in order to be considered a playoff-bound team. Jersey, they have like I said, a respectable 4-3-0 record currently. It's worth checking out who they've beaten in that interim time. They've taken down the Ducks, the Sharks, who began their season off at 0-5. They took down, I think, the Islanders as well, who are not particularly known as an offensive-minded team. So I kind of take that with a grain of salt. I think we still need to see some more games from New Jersey. But Colorado, you saw again what Coach put up there. Get into penalty trouble, and Colorado's going to make you pay. These guys are everything that is advertised, and they're, even though they lost a couple of key players, they're still very deep. Right now, FYI, Colorado is 13-5 in their
Nick
last
Christian is
18
out,
games.
right?
Yes, and they're also 5-1 in their last 6 games against New Jersey. And finally, Colorado's 12-2 in their last 14 games on the road. So for me, I'm taking Colorado to win this one, even though Georgiev is not playing. I'm going to take Colorado to win by a score of 5-2.
5-2. All right. I go with New Jersey Devils because my mulligan team now, and I go with a score of 4-3 against Colorado Avalanche.
Very interesting.
If you look about the Colorado, Likonen, McKinnon, Ratanen. Then after that,
yes.
give me 3 names you know, and you're going to figure out you have nobody there after that. Cogliano play on the second line, and Colorado right now.
Yes, you're right about that. They do need to address that and get some secondary scoring. But you know what? If that first line is scoring at the rate that they are, and they keep getting power
My
play
only thing I would say to
opportunities,
you, if Vanicek can't hold in the Colorado Avalanche about this. By the way, my car has 0 goals in the beginning of the season.
I know.
I just think,
He's
I
had a
just
bit of
feel
a
like
slow year.
New Jersey is just, if they play, they're supposed to play. I think Colorado have a difficult time about that.
Okay, yeah. Point taken. Next, we have the Islanders and Carolina. The Islanders, they come into Carolina after a 3-0 victory against their crosstown rival, the Rangers, on Wednesday night. The Islanders are 3-4 to start off the season. They're in 7th in the Metro Division. Surprisingly, they're close to a 500 record, even without a goal from their major star, Matthew Barzal, who, he's doing well statistically. He has 7 assists in 7 games, but I think they're counting on him, as well as others, guys like, Lee and Beauvillier and those kind of guys to chip in as well. Over the years, the Islanders have been known for their defensive structure, which has kept its shape so far. I think they've only allowed, I think, 18 goals in 7 games. I mean, this could be a tough game for uh, a tough one for the Islanders against the. I personally think Carolina, which will be a Stanley Cup contender, and probably I think will go to the finals from the East. The Hurricane, they've started off to a great start. They're leading the Metro Division. A key reason for that, as we saw earlier, is their defense and goaltending. The Hurricane are second in the league with only 14 goals against. The tandem of Anderson and Ranta has been incredible so far. They have a collective 2.15 goals against average. Guys like Svechnikov is off to a flying start as well. He's got, I think, 7 goals now. And he could be a real factor moving forward. We're starting to see Nikas starting to come around. We don't hear from Kokonemi too much, but that's okay. This is a deep team, and they'll do their job even without him. And I still think when they get Pacioretty back, they're going to get that added scoring that they need. So I think this will be a close one, but I think Carolina will have it under control. I'm going to take them to win by a score 3-2.
3-2.
Yeah.
I said 3 for you, but I will take 4-3. I just don't give you an idea for Colorado, Mr. ENORTAP. 7 goal, Nikoshin, 3 McKinnon, Ratanen 3.
Wow.
I give them 6 and 13 goal. Ratanen have 0 point in the last 3 games with the Colorado Avalanche. And then
I think a big problem there, though, Coach, is they really miss Landeskog on that second line. And that could be a reason why they're faltering a little bit.
yep.
We'll see when he comes
Yeah,
back.
I just try to just helping the people in the chat
Yeah,
about this.
that's a good point.
I go
Good
with
point.
4-2, Mr. ENORTAP.
Okay. Yes, indeed. Next, we have Pittsburgh and Vancouver. Finally, we know what happened last night. Vancouver had to spend themselves quite a bit, but they finally were able to pull off a victory. Will it hold up? Personally, I don't think so. I think that the Penguins are a deep team as well. They've gotten off to a very good start. They're 4-2-1 to open up the season. Um, Vancouver is going to be on a back-to-back here, which will play into this. After, like I said, they're playing a tough contest last night. And last I heard, Demko is not playing in this game. It's going to be Martin.
Yep.
So I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh to win this game. They're 4-6 in their last 10 games, and the Canucks are 2-8 in their last 10 games. But that aside, I still think that they have a little bit more rest and they have more depth. I'm going to take Pittsburgh by a score of 4-2.
Well, I was right. I go
You're
for
always
3,
right,
but
Coach.
I
You're
was
always
right
right.
for your score. I will put 4-2 for you.
Awesome. And that takes us to the final one in the last minute here. The Jets, they come into Arizona, and we know what's happening here. They're playing in their new arena, if you want to call it a new arena, the 5,000 seat arena. We've seen the pictures all over Instagram and Twitter, what it looks like. I think if they can get some momentum, this is fantastic for them. It might create a nice environment for Arizona and yet be intimidating for some other teams to come into. The noise level could be through the roof. You got Winnipeg played last night as well, so that's a bit of a tough situation for them to travel now to Arizona. You know what? This is going to be my upset of the night, Coach. I think that because they're opening up in Tempe, that they're going to come out firing, and the fans will be a big contributor. And they got Winnipeg at the right time, and Winnipeg might even look at this as a trap game. Who knows? So I'm going to take Arizona to win this game. And I think they're going to score in the empty net to win 4-2.
4-2 for Arizona. All right. No, I go with Winnipeg Jet by the score 5-2.
Winnipeg's going to hurt you.
Yeah, nobody Arizona. Yeah, nobody, no players, everything like that. The only thing I would say it could be a problem is Dave Riddich between the pipe for the Winnipeg Jet. But I think the big W they got against the Kings yesterday going to carry on them for tonight game. That's my be. And they win right now with Kyle Connor. Talking about the Kings, it's not that I was upset yesterday. Again, take a nap, I wake up.
It's and 4-4. You say ENORTAP was right.
It's 4-4. Right. The Kings, unbelievable. 18 shot. They gave 6 goals. What's going on with the Kings with Jonathan Quick over there?
You know what? It's not even the goaltending, Coach. It's the defensive structure. It's very much like Swiss cheese there. They're not playing well, and that's extremely surprising because their defense is. If you look at them on paper, they're not bad. They're actually a good team, and that was one of their fortes last year as well. By the way, how many goals does Dano have this year?
Who?
Dano.
Dano?
Yes.
2 goals.
Not 2 goals, yeah.
Yeah. He scored the same game.
Yeah. Not good enough.
By the way, Mr. ENORTAP, I'm working on the Mike Bergevin job with the Montreal Canadiens. I'm going to make a video very soon. I'm going to get a lot of tomatoes again, like tonight. A lot of people laugh at me because of my prediction, and then they laugh at me because of my new rules. But it's okay. It's okay. I can get it. It's Friday anyway. But what I want to mention to you, Mr. ENORTAP, years ago, they tried to sign Philippe Dano at 28 years old, a 6-year contract at 5.5. That bring him at 34 years old. Right. He turned around and he signed Mike Hoffman at 31 years old, a 3-year contract at 4.5. My point to you is, at the end of the day, he went to the short term at the long term. And I think he was right to do that because Dano at 30, 31, 32, 33 would not perform same level like Mike Hoffman.
No.
So I think it was a better way. And without Philippe Dano, guys, we maybe not have Savkoski. Maybe we don't have Philippe Mazar. And maybe we don't have Owen Beck. Because
If
with
some
Dano,
buts.
Montreal did not finish last position last season.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. If nothing else, he's a great, defensive player. He plays the game very well defensively. Covers the best players on every team, but he has to have maybe not the kind of year that he had last year, but it has to come close to that for LA to be more successful.
yeah, absolutely right. We'll be back at 9 o'clock p.m. Tonight, guys. We're going to do the HNL Tonight show. We're going to talk about something Montreal Canadiens, NHL. We're going to go live. We're going to invite people to join the live pine right there. And then we're going to do the French quiz at the end. We invite people to join us at the French quiz. I think the last winner on the French quiz, Mr. NORTAP, I have to take my notes like you do all the time. It was between RJ and Ron with King. So both of them can join me. We're going to need 2 more contestants. Or one of them come join us, and then we need 3 more contestants, Mr. NORTAP. That's happening tonight, of course, at 9 o'clock. So we're going to follow the game at the same time. And then tomorrow night, we will do the Montreal Canadiens against the St. Louis Blues. And that is...
That's
everybody
it.
laugh. I think you are one of them, by the way.
What did I
I
laugh
think you are
at?
the one of you, and you are one of them, and many other. And the chat like tonight, you're laughing about
Yeah.
my prediction and my rules, laughing about the Minnesota Wild. They're not going to be good, and they're not going to finish in front of St. Louis. And I can go all the way like that, but so far the Wild
Yeah.
are coming back and the standing, and the St. Louis Blues coming down. Very surprised the Blues, Mr. NORTAP. Robert Thomas and Jordan Kyrou got 2 big contracts in summer, are not looking good so far.
No, you're right. They actually got off to a decent start, but they've lost 2 or 3 in a row now. But don't worry, I still think they'll finish ahead of Minnesota. We'll see. Just like Hoffman shouldn't be on the first line, but that's another story for another
Whoa.
time.
All right. Mr. NORTAP, wait a minute. Oh, no, I knew he was coming down over there. I prepared my background over there. Hold on, the guys.
Did he get any points
Here we
last
go,
night?
here we go. He wants to talk this
he
way.
score?
I'm going to respond to him right now. Here we go, Mr. NORTAP. This is the reason why Mr. NORTAP is put him on the number 1 over there. Here's, listen, guys, he's 66.67, Mr. NORTAP, at goals for. His XGF is at 3.06. His XGA is at 2.66 for his friends. Less over 1 point is at GX percentage at 53.99. He's the number 3 best players behind Kovacevic and Dadonov, Mr. NORTAP, in the last 4 games for the Montreal Canadiens. So that's the reason they put him there. Martin St. Louis work a lot with an analytic number. And that's the reason Mike Hoffman was on the top shot of the top line whatsoever. He did pretty good overall with Suzuki and Caulfield.
Well, I don't know if he did really good.
Yes, if you look about analytic, he create 3 turnover, and the one did not do well in that game is Nick Suzuki, by the way.
Yes, you're right about that.
33% face-off, and it was not the Suzuki. And this is another red flag. On the road, Suzuki does not do well or usually. Caulfield have an assist yesterday. Caulfield 11 attempt shot, 6 of them hit the net, Mr. NORTAP.
I know. Yeah, so, he's got to improve that part of his game for sure.
Yes, exactly about this. And Marcus said, Coach, it was so doubtful. Shout St. Louis. He picked the goalie on his pool. Yeah, I got Jordan Bennington, and then I removed yesterday Thomas Greaves. And I bring back Mikheyev for the Vancouver Canucks. I don't have a good weeks on my pick. Again, it's just a bad week around everything I do. Mr. Jeffrey Kuri from Japan, Tokyo, whatever it is. And this is in the house, Mr. NORTAP. Mr. NORTAP, this concludes another week's number 3 of the prediction of the warm-up show. Quite a great week. You did very well overall. I can wait to see the leaderboard. I believe Danny T is going to be with you on the top of the leaderboard next week. So it'll be interesting to follow all the results next week. We'll be back Monday night, 6 o'clock p.m. ENORTAP. Before we leave, anything you're looking for the weekend?
Just looking forward to seeing how the HABS obviously perform. If this continues, and we'll see where we stand at the end of the next 3 games.
You're absolutely about this. A lot of games Saturday night, guys. Our 14th game, I believe. And then Sunday, we have 4 or 5 games. So a lot of games during afternoon. Of course, I will be in the bed. But you guys, you can watch in the game afternoon. And Toronto play Anaheim. Can you believe Anaheim could beat Toronto? This is going to be the end of Shelton Cave Monday. They put him on the taxi cab. And he's never going back in Canada. He's going to stuck in California for a couple of weeks, Mr. Nata.
Can you spell trots?
At the end of the day, Mr. Natap, he will not fix the problem in Toronto.
I know, it won't. It won't.
It's more deeper inside the team.
You're right.
But until the next time.
You are awesome. You are amazing. You are the best. And remember, you have greatness inside of you.
Yes, you have greatness inside of you, Mr. Natabe. Yes, everybody have greatness inside of each one of you. I wish you an amazing, great weekend, everybody. Enjoy your weekend. Of course, can't wait to see you next Monday. Until the next time, we want to remind everybody, be well, be healthy. Find a way not only dominate your day, find a way to dominate your second app. What, Mr. ENORTAP?
Year 2022!
He did it again for one more time. Enjoy your evening, Mr. ENORTAP. Can't wait to see you. You're welcome to join me at 9 o'clock.
Good night, Coach.
I will see you next week. Have an amazing, great night, everybody.
Take care. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Oh, Men Girl Hockey back in the house tonight. Welcome, Men Girl Hockey. Glad to see you around. Marco, we're going to figure out this. Pierre Martin, have a great night, everybody, and enjoy your evening. No, Jeffrey, I do a lot of stuff before Monday. I just do that show at 6 o'clock. It's only Monday night. That's what's happening about this, Jeffrey.